Hey man, how about for this review, you don't shove your hand up a monkey's ass?
Yeah, well, maybe you should actually watch some movies so you actually know what you're talking about this time.
Hey man, so also for this review, just be a little bit more entertaining so people actually do subscribe when at the end of your video.
For this review, maybe you shouldn't look like a homeless bum that I've picked up off the side of the street to sit next to me.
Maybe in this one, you should reveal like how old you actually are, because you're old as fuck, dude.
Now, dude, I've got to sit next to you for the next 10 minutes or so. Maybe some body lotion, some aftershave, like deodorant. Have you heard of that?
Also, just on a serious note for this review, maybe you should watch Jeremy Jahns and Chris Stuckman's review just so you sound like you know what you're talking about in this one.
Maybe how about you wear a shirt that actually pertains to the movie we're reviewing so people can actually think that you are into it.
Don't tell me what to do.
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 Nobody tells me what to do. Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome to our review of Hobbs Shaw, the Fast and the Furious spin-off movie. So when you think of rad dudes, hot-looking women, good times, what do you think of?
Oh, Fast and the Furious for sure.
Oh, well, you know, either that or 105.7 Radio Metro. And a big thank you to Billsy and the team, as always, for inviting us to the screening of this film, starring Jason Statham and The Rock reprising their characters from that franchise. This time around, we've got Vanessa Kirby has been introduced into the film as Shaw's sister, who is harboring a super virus, this mega virus that is going to wipe out the entire world. We've also got Idris Elba as this genetically enhanced super soldier that is after the virus, so they've got to try and stop him, and they've got to try and save the sister because time is running out. And holy crap, this movie blew our minds, didn't it?
It really, really did.
Yeah.
And so I knew it was going to be fun, but it was so much more fun than you think it's going to be. Like, yeah, just wow.
Yeah, totally. So this movie was directed by David Leitch, who co-directed the first John Wick film. He also did Deadpool 2. Like, yeah, this guy knows his action and comedy. And the one thing with this film that I was really surprised about is how funny it is. Like, the trailers give you a hint as to the level of comedy, but you said you thought it was more comedy than action.
Absolutely, that's what's so surprising. And like, so I knew it was going to be fun, but I didn't know it was going to be fun for this reason. It is hilarious. So like, you know, you're expecting a lot of action, but yeah, there's more comedy than action in this movie. But it's a huge, it's a really good balance between the two, and not only the humor, the chemistry between Hobbs and Shaw is amazing in this film.
Totally, and obviously we are not going to spoil anything because there are some surprises in this film that
we want to
were amazing. But yeah, there are some comedic actors, some very famous comedic actors who most people love, who are in this film fairly substantially as well. Like they had really good roles, and that was such a surprise. Like the trailers for this film did a bang up job as to not revealing too much. Like they gave you enough of what you want to go and see, but they definitely didn't tell you everything, and neither are we going to now. But yeah, look, from the trailers, I mean, everyone pretty much expected an over-the-top, outrageous action film, and that's exactly what you're gonna get. But it was one of those films that, like, everything is so exaggerated. This super virus, like I said, is literally gonna wipe out the entire planet. The lines of dialogue that come from the characters, it's almost like they know they're in an action film. It was almost self-referential in a way. Yeah.
It's like Last Action Hero on steroids kind of thing, but like you expect that. And so like that's why I knew this was going to be fun, because like originally we've spoken about it before as well. We weren't big fans of the Fast and the Furious chain to begin with, but it's definitely grown on us.
Yeah.
And for huge reasons, because they do get bigger and better, but they've sort of just cut off, they've zigged when the Fast and Furious zags with the comedy side of it, because like, you know, the action adventure stuff of Fast and the Furious, it's got a more serious tone about family, which they do hold and they do keep with this franchise, but it just goes not slapstick, but it raises the stakes on humor for sure. It's so fun.
There were scenes where I just about had tears in my eyes. I was laughing so much. You know, as far as the cast goes, I mean, you know what to expect from Statham and The Rock. Like, they were as good as always.
Yeah.
Vanessa Kirby was a standout in this film. I mean,
Showstopper.
I really dug her in the last Mission Impossible film, but in this film, she takes it up a whole new level. Not just her character was really cool, but she is this really smart chick who knows to, she can think her way out of a situation. She can beat up any guy in the room. I mean, and a lot of it was Vanessa doing her own fight scenes. You could really see that it was her face on, in these scenes. So, I really applauded that. I thought, Idris Elba was menacing as this genetically enhanced super soldier.
Idris is always a force, and he doesn't disappoint in this. Like the three of them, the three boys in this movie are tops.
Yeah. Isaac Gonzalez is also in this film, but if you're if you're a big fan of hers, you might be a bit disappointed. She wasn't in it for much at all, like a couple of scenes really. But look, at the end of the day, this is the kind of movie you go to watch outrageous stunt scenes and action scenes, just over the top, and it delivers. This is the sort of movie, it's hard to criticize it. I mean, sure, there are scenes where, you got to wonder how a retina scan works when the guy's eyes are closed. That scene in the trailer where he's banging the heads on the thing, and when it finally works, the guy's eyes were closed. It's like, but who cares, But look, for me, I did think the runtime of 2.25 hours was a little bit lengthy.
True.
Sort of towards the end of the second act, before the third act, I thought it did lull a little bit. Like the final battle scene, which you see in the trailers, the whole Samoan thing, which I thought was really refreshing.
I thought it was really good. So another thing with Fast and the Furious movies, they like to, with either like a Latin culture or several different
Middle
Latin
East
cultures throughout the franchise. They've done it now with the Samoans, which is really, really cool. And like being Australians as well, we have lots of Maoris and Samoans and Fijians and stuff here, so it's really relatable to us. And I think it sort of takes the franchise like different ways globally as well, and like includes a lot of people, which is that whole family vibe of Fast and the Furious, like as a whole umbrella type franchise. It keeps that, and it's, underneath the action and the humor, there's still that heart there as well, so it has all of that. And you don't go into this for a great story or anything, but the story's solid enough to to support things exploding, and that's really all we're here for. And man, it was so fun.
And I mean, so like I was saying, I thought it did lull a little bit, like the runtime was a bit long, but and I did kind of have that feeling as well, like I said to you at the end of the film, that it didn't give me that sort of sense like I want to rush out and see it again tomorrow. It wasn't like Avengers Endgame that
that's true.
After that film it was just like, when can I see that again? This film, I loved watching it, and I'm definitely going to own it on Blu-ray probably the day it comes out. It's one of those films that it's a must-see film, but the rewatchability, I can wait a little bit.
It's a great addition to the marathon. So when you go into marathon, the Fast and the Furious chain, you're going to be looking forward from the last one to this one, and more of them too, because obviously there is going to be more.
Oh, totally.
They're not about to stop soon, and if they keep it up like they kept it up with this one, bring it on.
So were there any sort of negatives that you would go into?
Not a lot.
You had a really good time with this, didn't you?
I really did, and I was expecting to, and with other reviews that we've done where things have way fallen short on story and things like that, we won't bring up Child's Play. Excuse me, Lion King has its problems, but no, everyone knows what this type of movie is, and it's super fun, and there's something that we cannot reveal as a reason why it is so fun. But just please go and see this movie, and then we can talk later, because it's well worth it for one person in particular. And steals the show, really. And stick around through the end credits, because not only there are mid-credit scenes and a post-credit scene as well, which are hilariously funny. So look, aside from the minor criticisms, I had a really great time with this film. I am looking forward to seeing it again down the track. Not tomorrow, but definitely at some point, and so I'm going to give Hobbs and Shaw an 8 out of 10. And yeah, I'm pretty much the same. So it was always going to be a high score because again, we knew what this was going to be about. But it's there's nothing groundbreaking in it as far as like there's great effects. I mean, like there's a smart bike in there. That's not a spoiler, is it?
No, not at all.
It's its own character. There's some really cool
very
bits.
Robotech.
Yeah, but it doesn't sort of bump itself up, with story or anything to a 9 or a 10. And there's nothing I can take away from it from an 8. So it's an 8 from me too.
Right, so thank you very much for taking the time to watch our review of Hobbs and Shaw. I have gotten through this whole thing without saying Calvin and Hobbs.
Oh man, it was annoying. He's more annoying than usual. He's saying Calvin and Hobbs this whole time, and I'm like, "What's Calvin and Hobbs?" And then he's telling me
never heard of Calvin and Hobbs.
And then I was supposed to know what that is. Well.
Yeah, but anyway, so yes, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this review. Make sure you go and see this film. It is such a great time at the movies. If you've liked the franchise up to now, you are not going to be disappointed with this film. It's not just a cash grab or anything. I really felt like they're just continuing the fun of this franchise.
It's like they've found their stride and they're kicking ass, really.
Exactly. And make sure you come back and let us know what you thought of it. So, if you have seen Hobbs and Shaw, let us know what you thought. Drop us some comments either here, Facebook, or Twitter. All the social media links are in the description below because we like to talk about movies and we would love to talk about movies with you. Catch you next time.
Click subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest movie reviews. Skynet will be taking over any day now, so what have you got to lose? Nyah.